Commission meeting. I will, and actually we have to put roll call on the agenda. So I'll call the meeting to order and start with roll call on the left.
President. Brian.
Thank you.
John Murray.
June Gagnon.
Carla Stardens.
Brian Bright.
Mary Ann Chinati.
Katie O'Neill. All right. So I will appoint Kevin for Roz. And we have public hearing Z 2021-2144, continuation of Spicer Road Realty LLC, requesting a special permit for earth excavation on property located on Black Hill Road, Assessors Map 7, Block 53A, Lot 55.
Good evening, Honorable Chairman, members of the Commission, and staff. For the record, my name is Rick Rivero. I'm a professional engineer with the Progress in Rivero. It's always a pleasure to work in your backyard, so you're not traveling an hour after a planning zone presentation. It's certainly nice to be here tonight. Seems like the older you get, the faster time goes to us. The date I was just there a couple of weeks ago, and that was a month ago. And unfortunately, we can't close the public hearing tonight. We've additionally requested an extension. There was no quorum at the wetlands meeting last month. Hopefully there is for the next Tuesday night, and we can get that portion, which really was the majority of the questions the last time. If I may, just quickly for the record, Spicer Road Realty, which is actually Bruce Barnes Concrete out of Latham, proposing a sandy gravel operation on roughly 20 acres, actually 19.4 of the 49.58 acre site, to be done in 5 phases. Grades are actually added to the water table. Grades are added to the site plan. Everything above the water table. His use only, he's maximizing it at 10 truckloads a day. There may be long periods which is not used at all, depending on what the needs are. I believe there was another round of staff comments, Ryan, that were all addressed.
All of mine were addressed. I believe Chuck's were as well.
Right. Yes, thank you. We had some wetlands questions the last time that will certainly be addressed at the wetlands meeting, and then there was a question about clearing limits on the existing access road coming out, Carla, and you said maybe you could do an aerial view of how much was going to be cleared, and in talking to our client, he's like, the access road is going to be no wider than 10 feet. I'm not going to clear any more of the canopy than 10 to 12 feet high to get the trucks in and out. If I did an aerial view, the canopy is not going to be degraded. So if I did an aerial view, you're going to see the canopy just like you would now. So basically a 10 by 12 foot or so access box. This is not going to be a 2-lane road. It's going to be a single lane access road, basically mimicking the road that's there now. There are no additional clearing limits shown on the plan. Down in the access road area, it's basically just showing the existing clearing limits. If it's grown in, clearly going to have to address that to get the roughly the 10-foot width and 12-foot height. So, but it won't be cut more above. It certainly will not be clear cut. Hopefully that addresses the Commission's questions. On the access drive coming in, the vast majority of this excavation is going to be done down in this portion of the site. This is basically wetlands up here. Access road comes in this way. So this entire portion of the access drive coming in, as shown on the detailed plans, will just be cleared to the extent to allow single lane truck access to the back of this property. This is new clearing limits. This is existing coming all the way up here, roughly where the existing shack is now on that property from a reference standpoint. We had submitted a letter for an extension, and hopefully we can address wetlands comments at this month's wetlands meeting. So if there's any questions, I ask that the Commission continue the public hearing, and if I can entertain questions, I'll certainly be happy to.
Okay. So this is a public hearing, so if there's anyone here who has a question not related to next week's wetlands meeting, feel free to come up to the microphone, state your name, address, comment, and we can get that addressed this evening. Okay. Any comments or questions from board members? Anything else from staff? Okay, so hearing the request for extension, I would entertain a motion to continue to our March 8th meeting.
I make the motion.
Motion by Frank, Kevin beat you to it, so second by Kevin. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, continued to the March 8th meeting.
Great. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you. Item B, Z 2022-2260 of A. Couch & Sons LLC, requesting a special permit for an accessory apartment on a commercial property located at 506 Norwich Road, Assessors Map 1P, Block 38, Lot 7, C2 Commercial District.
Madam Chair, do you have any engineering questions?
I don't believe that we do on this application or anything subsequent.
Okay,
So,
I'm going to head out then.
thank you so much.
Good to see you all.
Thanks, Jeff.
Speaking for the applicant?
Yeah, I'm the applicant, Andrew
Okay.
Couch, owner, 506 Norwich Road. I've had this property for a while, and the original intent was always to get it to this point. I think the original permits that we had showed a garage up top and then a garage alongside with this existing commercial structure.
If I could just hold you up for a second. Everybody, in your staff report, you do have a copy of the floor plan layout and also where the apartment will be located.
Yeah, just that was the whole intent. I think at that point, I don't know if we missed it or weren't prepared at that time, or just decided about getting the garage in. But the intent, it was permitted as an office and built as an office, but it could be changed over both uses as either an office or as a one-bedroom residence. And that's what the hope. I'm just at a point now where it makes sense in order to make that change. And that up Orion, at this point, we could fill out the application and looking for a permit to go ahead and do that.
Okay. So this is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience who has a comment or question on this application, you can step up to the microphone. Okay. Any comments or questions from board members? Okay. Any comments or questions from staff?
Just to elaborate a little bit, so if you look at the floor plan on this, it already has existing bathroom, existing kitchen. The bedroom is currently office space that is already divided from the rest of it. So there's going to be no modifications made to the building itself. It would just be a change to the use from a commission's approval standpoint. It does have 2 parking spaces, which are required. And the only thing I have to mention is the garage is under construction, and it cannot be used as an apartment until the garage is completed with a CO, because it's an accessory use to a commercial building. Also, the garage cannot be used as part of the residence. It has to be a commercial type use, like contractor's garage or something.
Okay. So noted in the staff report are 2 suggestions for conditions of approval. The garage must be fully constructed with a CO issued prior to being granted a zoning permit for the apartment. Item 2, the garage must be commercially and cannot be used as parking or residential storage for the apartment. Are there any other comments or questions?
Yeah, so it's, this is over the garage apartment?
This would be on the side of the
On
garage.
the side.
The garage is being constructed onto the side of it.
Okay,
So there is a site plan
okay.
shown in your packet.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion on the public hearing. Make a motion to close? Motion to close by Kevin? Second by John. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public hearing is closed. Moving on to the regular meeting, call to order. We do have a correction to the agenda, or a request from staff to just flip the order of items 12 and 13. So have the report from planning and zoning come prior to going into executive session. So if we are amenable to that, if I could have a motion to make that change.
I'll make that change.
Motion by June to make that change. Second by John. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the agenda has been corrected or modified. Citizen participation. This is opportunity for anyone in the audience to address the commission. Yes.
Could I ask a few, Art Gagny, could I ask a few questions about the ADU regulations?
So, citizen participation is not a question and answer period, it's just to make a statement.
Okay.
Are you referring to something later on the agenda?
I just wanted some clarification on a few things. I could wait till then, if you allow me a chance to speak then, that's fine.
There will be a public hearing, but it won't be till March or April. April. So that will have a public hearing in April.
Beautiful, thank
All
you.
right, good. Any other citizen participation? All right, hearing none. Moving on to the unfinished old business. Item A, Z 2021-2144 was continued, so we do have to motion to continue it on old business as well.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by June, second by Frank, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, continued to our next meeting. Item B, Z 2022-2260, continuation of A. Couch & Sons, LLC, requesting special permit for an accessory apartment on commercial property located on 506 Norwich Road, Assessors Map 1P, Block 38, Lot 7, C2 Commercial District. Discussion on this application. All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion reminding whoever's making the motion that there were 2 suggested conditions of approval. So if you want to include those when making your motion, please be sure to make the motion to approve with conditions as read. So do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the conditions as
Okay.
I'll second that.
So I have a motion by John to approve with the conditions as read. Second by June. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Application is approved with those 2 conditions. You're welcome.
Just a reminder, Andrew, you'll be receiving a special permit in the mail. It has to be recorded in the clerk's office.
Okay, thank you for that.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Item C, Z 2022-2261, continuation of Quikrete Companies, Inc., requesting site plan approval to construct concrete pads for the placement of processing and drying equipment on property located at 524 Green Hollow Road, Assessors Map 20, Block I-24, Lot 5, Industrial 1 Zoning District.
Thank you for the record. My name is Norm Tebow, Killingly Engineering Associates, and I am here representing the Quikrete Company here this evening. As you stated in your introduction, Madam Chair, what we are proposing to do here is to construct a series of 5 concrete pads, actually I think 6 concrete pads, to hold some processing equipment for, it's essentially a drying system for their aggregate. So before the aggregate goes to be mixed to make their bagged concrete products. I'm sure everyone's aware or familiar with the Quikrete Company on Green Hollow Road. And essentially this system is going to be set up in the area that we showed on the plans here. The white blocks on the plan are where the processing equipment is going to go. And essentially what they do is they grab aggregate from the hoppers right across the parking lot, bring it there, dump it into one of the sorting hoppers, and it goes through a series of belts and drying and heating processes to dry it out appropriately so that they can mix it to make their concrete products. You can see the orange line kind of going to the bottom of your screen. That's the conveyor, that system that goes across the street. So ultimately what's going to happen is that at the end of this drying process, the aggregate will be dumped onto this conveyor and transported across the street where it's mixed with in the building across the street where they actually do the combination to mix their various pre-mixed concrete products. Pretty simple operation. The area where they have all the concrete pads or where they're proposing to put them is currently paved. There'll be no increase in pervious area, no increase in stormwater runoff. It's simply going to kind of streamline the process for them right now because currently the smaller building that you see toward the top of the screen, the smaller square orange building, is where they have a dryer system in there. It's not quite big enough to handle the capacity that they require, and it also requires them bringing the machines into the building to dump the aggregate into that building. So it just, it's kind of cumbersome. It doesn't really meet their needs, and they just want to upgrade their system.
Any comments from staff on the application?
This is really pretty simple, like Norm stated. There's no added impervious surface. There's going to be no change to the grading of the site. So there's no issues with stormwater. It's not going to interfere with the truck traffic or the flow of the parking. So I have no issues with it.
Okay. Any questions from board members?
Does this help with the dust?
That I don't.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, there's really not going to be, I mean,
A change.
I don't think there's going to be a change, honestly. I don't know. I'm actually meeting with them tomorrow, though. I mean, if that's a concern, I can
Yeah,
certainly
no, I'm
have
just
a
wondering.
discussion.
I know
can
it does
certainly just
increase.
have a discussion with them
Yeah.
regarding the dust, absolutely.
Okay. Any other comments from staff or board members? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion on the application.
I'll second.
I have a motion to approve by John, a second by June. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, application is approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You as well. New business, item A, Z 2022-2275 of the Planning and Zoning Commission, applying for an amendment to zoning regulations for accessory dwelling units, ADU. Staff included the text that we had discussed at our last meeting. Were there any comments, questions for staff regarding the text changes? Anything you wanted to add, Ryan?
Not really. Did you want me to go through all of it, or just?
I think we went through pretty detailed last time, so I don't feel it's necessary unless board members have a question. Okay. And as noted in the staff report, because of notification requirements, we will not be able to schedule this for March. However, we could schedule the public hearing for the April 12th meeting. So if you want to make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
June made the motion to schedule the public hearing April 12th.
I'll second.
I have a second by Kevin. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, scheduled public hearing April 12th. All right, moving on to the approval of the January 11th regular and public hearing meeting minutes. Did anyone have any amendments or changes to those minutes? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion on the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Frank to approve, a second by June. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Correspondence.
The only thing that came in, the Connecticut Federation of Planning and Zoning Agencies annual conference announcement, hard copy came in. That was emailed to members previously. And if anybody is interested in going, please let me know and I will sign you up.
And just noting, because there are requirements to receive training, are there deadlines for training, and do you know what other trainings will be available if members are not able to attend this one?
I do not know what future trainings there will be. You need to have 4 hours of training.
Per calendar year?
2024.
Okay. By 2024. Okay.
Have guidelines been established yet? I can't recall.
No, but that's the word as of now.
Yeah. So even if we went to this, it most likely would not be considered as credit for that because it's not set up yet.
Understood.
But
Okay.
it would go.
It would?
They would count those hours.
Okay.
And any hours of training would be counted.
Okay. But board members have time, so it's not like there's a deadline of June 30th that you have to get your 4 hours in. We actually have through 2024, so if board members are not able to attend this, there'll be other opportunities.
There are stipulations, various categories that you need to have training in. I'm kind of thinking they're going to have online training sessions.
All right. Very good. All right. Anything for other? Okay, moving on to report from zoning enforcement.
Okay, 14 Canterbury Road. vehicles and equipment on the property. He was making good progress over the summer, but then it has stalled out, so I have sent a letter requesting an update. And that should be received sometime this week or next. And if it is not received, I'll have the attorneys draft a demand letter. 3244 Norwich Road, Suite LLC. This is in court. They have requested that we make an inspection on Thursday, so we are going to try to make that inspection, provided they follow through with that. I think we also have coming, January 31st, it was a remote hearing, but I was uncluded in that. That was just the attorneys. But things apparently going on. 211 Cape Downing Road, Mackin Construction Equipment. This is also in the court system, and we have a hearing coming up at the end of the month. 13 Simmons Ave, Doug Briscoe. This is for a motor vehicle junkyard, and he has been non-compliant, and the attorneys are sending this to court. So we should have more information next month. 0 Norwich Road and Rood Road, Rood Fields. This was the gravel operation without permits. They have applied to the Inland Wetlands Commission back on January 11th, and so the Wetlands Commission could act on it in February, and I don't know if they will or not, but they will also be applying to this commission. 40 Tower Box Road Extension, PHH Mortgage Corporation for a junkyard. The bank is in control of this. They made a lot of progress on the site. The site is almost completely cleaned up, with the exception of the vehicles. The site was an absolute mess. There was just junk everywhere. The vehicles have all been tagged, numbered by the bank, and that indicates that they will be removed at some point. So I was going to send this off to the attorneys, but it looks like they will be in compliance before too long. 371 Latham Road, basement apartment without permits. So there's no tenant in the apartment, and they are waiting for us to act on the revised ADU regulations to decide what they're going to do, either get the apartment permitted or remove it. 552 Squaw Rock Road, Registered Motor Vehicles. Cease and desist was sent out for this. There has been absolutely no response from the property owner, and this will be forwarded to council for a demand letter, most likely, but if nothing is done, we'll proceed to court action. 256 Spalding Road, RV's dwelling, and also commercial truck and trailer boxes and a job site trailer on the property. The property owner said that he was going to be working on this. However, nothing has been done so far. So a cease and desist was sent out, and they have 60 days to remove. The cease and desist was sent out January 31st, so approximately 2 months from then. We'll see what we have for compliance. 90 Moosa Pond Road, the Lynn Stanley property for dead trees. They'll be working on that in the spring to replace the trees. 185, 187 Main Street Moosa, an illegal third-floor apartment. The court issued an order for the tenants to be out of that apartment by January 27th, and January 22nd, the tenants were supposed to be out. They have not vacated yet, so the property owner has filed more paperwork with the court to have them evicted, and they will bring the property into compliance once that occurs. That's it.
All right. Any questions on zoning enforcement outside of the case updates that will be in executive session? Okay, hearing none. Report from planning and zoning.
In addition to my written report, I just want to remind members and the public that tomorrow night at 6:30 will be a public meeting on the Latham Road Sidewalks project to present the project to the public and answer questions. And also on Thursday at 6:30, there will be a public meeting to gauge resident and public input on what they would like to see happen with the annex.
Thank you. All right, so at this time, we will pause for executive session. I need a motion to go into executive session, please.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by June, second by Kevin. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so we'll go into executive session in the zoning office.
Yeah, and just for clarification, this is to discuss the pending court cases that I discussed in our report.
Perfect.
Make a motion to go into executive session with board members and staff.
And do I have a second by Kevin? All right, all in favor of going into executive session with board members and staff?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, let the record show that we returned from executive session at 7:34 and returned to the regular meeting. And there are no other items on the agenda except adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by June, second by John. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Have a lovely evening, everybody.